everybody, I'm Blazer Rebecca, and welcome back to A Little Lily Princess. We're here with Maret. My mother visited me as a child when she could. It was not often. Then one day I realized she would not come back. I do not know what happened. There was no word. She only did not return. I believed that she must have died. I do not think she would have abandoned me by choice. If Sarah had been older and Maret younger, she would have hugged and comforted her. For Sarah was a tender-hearted soul. It was more difficult in this situation to know what to do. Maret did not seem to be greatly wounded by her loss, only wistful. Perhaps it was so long ago, as with my own mother, that she does not much remember or miss her. Or perhaps it is because she is an adult now and she thinks that she must be strong. Whatever the case, I think you're right. Your mother must be in heaven now, watching over you. I'm certain that she was a kind and loving woman, and that she would never forget you. How do you know this, mademoiselle? She rose from her desk and stood straight. Because you are a kind and loving person who looks after others. You are not my mother, but you are like a mother should be. So, I'm sure your mother was just the same. And then Maret did something unusual. For no particular reason, she reached out and laid her hand atop of Sarah's little dark head. It felt warm. Merci, mademoiselle. Ah, new week. Girls, gather around if you please. Today I've arranged a special outing for your edification. We'll be attending the British Museum of Natural History. Natural? Does that mean plants? Ugh, I hope not. There's nothing edifying about plants. It could be interesting to attend a museum of plants with people who know all about them and can tell their stories. I don't know about that. You mean gardeners? Maybe we'll get to play in the garden? Quiet now. Form up. Let's go. Of course. It's gonna eat me! It can't eat you, Lottie. It's not a real dinosaur. It's a former dinosaur. It's dead. Wow, way to be blatant, Jessie. It's gonna follow me! I don't think it will fall. It's really rather interesting. It's an amazing find. It's disturbing. It's a monster. Dude, the only real monsters are humans, depending on their actions. It's marvelous! That's shocking. Jessie shivered and took Lottie's hand in hers. Come on, let's go find something to look at that isn't dead. I think that everything in the museum may be. Then we will look at the walls. They are rather pretty walls. You'll look at the exhibits with me, won't you, Sarah? Yes, of course. Are you coming, Lavinia? No, I want to look at this one a little while longer. I'll catch up with the two of you in a few minutes. Okay, that's odd. Two? You are here, aren't you? Right. Sarah wondered if this was the first time that Lavinia had ever preferred the guard's company to Jessie's. That is a little odd. Okay. I'll write in my diary here. I don't need to deal with the practice dance. No, go for a walk here. Writing. Dancing. Walking. Visiting. Reading. Whoa, it's dark. Sarah was awoken from her sleep by the sound of knocking. Ah, ¿qué se pasa? No. It's alright, I'll get the door. Lottie? Sarah, Mama! The young girl clung to Sarah. I had a bad dream and the monster was gonna eat eat me, and then I woke up and it was dark and I thought I saw something. Bones, there were bones in my room. Monster bones. Shh, it's alright. Maret, where are my slippers? The maid brought the fluffy white shoes for Sarah to slip her feet into. I will walk you back to your room and show you that it's safe. Jeez, it's dark. They went through the hallway together, two little girls in the dark. Great combo! You're not mad? I woke you up. Well, I want to sleep, but you want to sleep too. And if you're too afraid, you can't sleep. But if I help you, then we both can. Lottie blinked her eyes a few times but said nothing. There we are, see? No bones, just a tree shadow. Oh! Right. She paused at the door. Sarah, Mama? I didn't really think there were bones in my room. I mean, I thought it, but I didn't really believe it was true. I knew that it wasn't. I just wanted to feel better. I'm sorry. Sarah nodded slowly. Oh, maybe you need a nightlight. Sometimes when you pretend things, even if you know behind the doors in your mind that they're not quite real, they still feel as if they were. It isn't wrong to believe in what you pretend. Lottie smiled. I will pretend I'm going to have good dreams. That is a very nice thing to pretend. I believe I will too. And with that, she returned to her bed. That's so adorable. I don't... No, let's not do any event this weekend. New week. Mademoiselle, hold up your arms like so, if you please. Sarah extended her arms, letting them drift into ballet second position. Now over your head, so I can see the fabric stretch. Marat was making the final adjustments to Sarah's new pink dancing frock, after pointing out that Sarah's change in height meant her old ones no longer fit just so. Ah, a touch. Just there. Take it off again if you please, and I'll have it done before your next lesson. Sarah wriggled free of the soft fabric and handed it over. It's such a beautiful color, and the skirt is so light. Dancing in that, I shall feel like a pink butterfly, floating on the breeze, or a fairy princess with wings like rose petals. Roses, that is what needs. A wreath of roses for your head. I will find some buds at the florist's. The mental picture of herself decked out in a pink dressing frock with a crown of flowers was so delightful that Sarah laughed out loud. Sometimes life is so beautiful. I wonder if I've pretended it into being. Mademoiselle does have a very good imagination. No, it is the magic. The magic shapes our lives and makes everything wonderful. Sarah's heart was lighter than the feather. We'll keep that. No toys. Practice dance. Read a book. And more dancing. Writing. Playing. Dancing. Reading. And dancing. Okay. Sarah's room at Miss Minchin's seminary were not like the rooms of ordinary pupils, who were meant to be satisfied with simple necessities. There were pictures of books and curious things from India. There was a sofa and the low, soft chair. Emily sat in a chair of her own, with the air of a presiding goddess, and there was always a glowing fire and polished grate. Because her room was such a nice, bright, pretty place, the little scullery maid known as Becky liked to save it until the end of her afternoon's work. Hey, you're back! I'm kind of glad. Save. If luck was with her, she could snatch a few minutes to sit alone in the soft chair and look around, thinking about the wonderful good fortune of the child who owned such surroundings. On this afternoon, when she had sat down, the sensation of relief to her short, aching legs had been so wonderful and delightful that it seemed to soothe her whole body, and the glow of the warmth and comfort from the fire had crept over her like a spell. Oh, Her hard-working young body was tired past the limits of endurance. As she looked at the red coals, a tired, slow smile stole over her smudged face. Her head nodded forward without her being aware of it, and her eyelids drooped. Oh, she's falling asleep. That's so adorable. Thus it was that when Sarah returned to her room, her mind full of song and dance, she found an empty coal box on her floor, and a maid so deeply asleep that she might have been an enchanted princess. Oh, that poor thing. Ah. Becky looked nothing like any illustration of sleep beauty. Her gown was stained and her face smeared with soot, and her poor little kerchief hung half off her head. Even her face beneath the dirt was a plain one. She looked like only an ugly, stunted, worn-out little scullery drudge. Miss Sarah was not cross to find such a figure in her own favorite chair. The ill-used hero in the story! Now at last I can talk to her. When she wakes. She crept closer to the chair, walking quietly on raised feet, and stood there looking at her. I wish she'd waken herself. I don't wish to wake her, but Miss Minchin will be cross if she finds out. I'll just wait a few minutes. She took a seat on the edge of the table and sat swinging her slim legs. If Miss Minchin came looking for Becky, she was sure to be scolded. But she's so tired, so tired. At that moment, Sarah's indecision was interrupted by a popping sound from the fire. A piece of flaming coal had broken and shifted. Becky did not realize at first that she had fallen asleep. She only remembered sitting down for a moment in the gentle glow. And now she had found herself staring in a wild alarm at the wonderful pupil who sat perched quite near her like a fairy. Becky sprang to her feet, clutching at her kerchief to set it right. Oh, miss, I ask yet your pardon, miss. Oh, I do, miss. Sarah put her dainty feet on the ground and stood. Don't be frightened, it doesn't matter in the least bit. I didn't go to do it, miss. It was the one fire, and maybe he's so tired. It weren't impertinence. I don't even know what you're saying anymore. Sarah broke into a friendly little laugh. You were tired. You could not help it. You are not really awake yet. Ain't you angry, miss? Aren't you gonna tell the missus? No, of course not. I know I shouldn't touch your things, miss. Sarah shook her head. Why, we are just the same. I'm only a little girl like you. It's just an accident that I'm not you and you are not me. An accident, miss? Have you done your work? Dare you stay here a few minutes? Here, miss? Me? If your bedrooms are finished, perhaps you might stay a tiny while? I thought perhaps you might like a piece of cake. And we'll talk with Becky here a little bit more. See ya!